Woot. These things are called Furnace Golems, and today I'm going to tell you where they are, how to kill them, what they drop. Let's do this, baby! So the first one on our hit list here is this one. This will probably be the first one you run into, and he's located in the Scorched ruins. Now this first guy only has a couple attacks and they're pretty easy to dodge, so let's walk through them, shall we? I do recommend fighting this guy on horseback. I think you can fight him on foot, but good luck. Anyway, the first move to look out for is this foot stomp thing with a fire splatter. It's pretty easy to dodge. You literally just jump over it and you're good. The next attack to look out for is what I'm going to call the rocket jump, where basically both of his legs light ablaze and he jumps up and lands with a big explosion. Same thing, just jump over it. Just make sure you're not too close to the explosion or you'll get hit by it, obviously. And he also does this kneeling attack where he'll just go on one knee and take a swipe at you. It's pretty easy to dodge as well. Just stay behind him and you're good to go. And that's it for moves. If you can dodge these three moves, you can. It's just a matter of time till you beat this guy. Now to actually beat this guy, you just need to swing at his legs for a while until he staggers, and you have to stagger him 3 times. It's this little like ting sound. You do that 3 times and you can get a big strike. You do like 30,000 damage. It's great, but you do that twice and you'll kill him. It takes like 10 minutes to kill one of these things, so you know, make sure you don't have to like go to the bathroom in the middle of it, because you won't be able to unless you just piss where you're standing. What am I talking about? Anyway, your reward for beating him is 10,000 runes and the deflecting hard tier. Now, you've probably already heard about the deflecting hard tier because everyone was yapping about it when the game first came out, but basically it turns Elden Ring into Sekiro by making it so when you guard at just the right time, you do a little parry move and you take no stamina damage or very little stamina damage and no health damage, and you can do a, I think your damage is boosted on your guard counter thing. Overall, it's just a really great tool that probably should have been a talisman or just baked into the game somehow, but the way it is right now is fine. It lasts about 5 minutes, which is enough for most boss fights and enough to get you from sight to grace. And you can use it with any melee weapon, so it's great for like basically any build. Overall, just a fantastic tool. Anyway, moving on. Next, we have the Furnace Golem located in front of Shadow Keep. The strategy is the exact same. Just watch for his fire stomps and his rocket jump and the kneeling and all that shit. Then just swing at him until he dies. Your reward for besting this one is the Crimson Burst Dried tier, which I won't lie, it doesn't really do that much, or at least I couldn't find a great use for it. Basically, it heals your friends, NPCs, and spirit ashes for 7 HP per second. It sounds pretty good, but 1, you have to be pretty close for it to actually heal anything, and 2, this late in the game, 7 HP per second doesn't really mean shit. And that's also not mentioning the fact that if you're playing by yourself, this is completely useless. But anyway, on to the next one, which is the golem located outside of Bonnie Village and just before the back entrance to Shadow Keep. Now this one does require a different strategy because his legs are armored up. What you need to do is go to this spirit sprint jump thing, whatever it's called, and jump up onto this cliff here and use ranged attacks. More specifically, you should use the hefty big furnace pot thing. I don't fucking know the name of it, but you need to craft it, so let's go through that. First thing you need is the Great Pontonate's Cookbook, which is located here in the Gravesite Plains. Then you need the following materials. You need 2 red flesh mushrooms, 2 ember of mesmers, 1 furnace visage, and 1 empty hefty cracked pot. Red flesh mushrooms are located all over the place, so you probably already have some, so just check your inventory. The ember of mesmers are located all over the place in Shadow Keep. The furnace visage things are located from killing the furnace golems and finding it on the corpse of them scattered around the place. And finally, the hefty cracked pot empty ones are located anywhere there's jars, basically. So, you know, you got Shadow Keep, Bonnie Village, Bonnie Jail, Cerulean Coast. Look, just explore around. You'll probably find it. You got to do some work yourself here, all right? I'm just telling you where to find these things. Anyway, once you've crafted a few, you'll need 3 to kill one of these things. Go back to that cliff I was talking about earlier, and watch out for 2 moves. 1, his heat-seeking fireball things. Just run around and roll, and you'll dodge him fairly easily. And 2 is his jump swipe. He just walks up to the cliff and hops and fucking yaw. As soon as he finishes one of these attacks, you're good to let these furnace pot things fly. I would recommend waiting for his arm swipe, because then you'll know for sure he's close enough for it to hit. But anyway, once you hit it with all 3 furnace pots, you will be rewarded with the Cerulean Sapping Crack tier. Now this one actually has some potential to be useful. Basically what it does is every time you attack an enemy, you get FP back. It only works with melee stuff though, so if you're a wizard build, go fuck yourself, I guess. I found a little bit of success using the Raksha's Great Katana and the Ash of War with it to make the FP cost quite a bit less. There's probably a better strategy for this thing. I didn't do that much testing. The next one is located in the ancient ruins of rauh. It's also the same one that launches that ultra big fire tunnel thing, which is kind of difficult to dodge. If you're an idiot, if you could just walk to that was so mean, I'm sorry. All you need to do to dodge it is just go off to the right here and go around and you'll get to him. Anyway, once you do get to him, the strategy is basically the same. You just run around him, dodge his fire stomps, smack him a bunch until he falls over, and you're good to go. Your reward this time is the Crimson Sapping Crack tier, which heals HP on every hit. It's kind of useful, I guess. It's not a ton of health, so you can't just like sit and trade blows with the boss, but I'm sure it's useful with some kind of build. The next one is in the ruins of Unte? I don't fucking know. But you get to it via the secret path in Shadow Keep, which I'm gonna play now real quick. All right, let's find the ruins of Unte real quick. So you're gonna want to start at the storehouse, first floor, Site of Grace. Wait for this giant elevator to come up. And then you're gonna ride it all the way down, obviously. Then from here you can either fight this guy or avoid him. They're kind of annoying to fight, so I'm not going to do that. But you just run past him. You're going to take a left up here. Watch out for these little guys. But then you're just going to fall off here. Don't worry, you'll probably survive the fall. And then you're just going to go under the waterfall, down this incredibly long ladder. Then you're going to go through this corridor and roll through this wall here. Bada bing, bada boom. You've found the secret entrance. Actually, not quite. You're going to want to go down the stairs to this coffin here and hop on in. Then after a short cutscene, you're going to end up here. And then just walk straight and you'll be in the ruins of Unte. Here you go, baby. Once you get to him, the strategy is the exact same. Nothing changes. Just run around, dodge the shit, swing at him till he's dead. What this one drops is the Oil Soak tier, which, you guessed it, soaks stuff in oil, which in turn boosts your fire damage. So it's kind of useful, I guess. I'm sure there's some build out there that makes it like insanely powerful, but I'm not gonna fucking look for it. The next golem is actually located in the same spot. You're gonna go over to the dead one here and whip a hefty furnace pot into him to revive it. And when you do fight him, the strategy is the exact same. Just run around, swinging his legs, dodge some shit, and he'll die eventually. But what you get from him is the blood-sucking crack tier, which is actually incredibly useful because at the cost of slowly draining your HP a little bit, you get a 20% damage boost, according to the wiki. So possibly the best one in the game, the best one we got so far, except for the deflecting hard tier. Anyway, the next one is located at the Cerulean coast. Just start at this Site of Grace. Then you just turn around and go through this little rock tunnel peak thing. I don't know what the fuck you call that thing. But you just run through there and you'll see the Furnace Golem standing there. Well, he's actually walking, but you get the idea. But wait for it. The strategy is the same. Just run around and dodge some shit, and he'll be dead. Your reward this time around is the Viridian Hidden tier, which for 15 seconds negates all stamina consumption, which is kind of good. There's a lot of Ashes of War that could really benefit from this. I don't know any off the top of my head. I didn't do a lot of testing if you haven't gathered. I'm sure there's some kind of crazy shit. I'll let someone way smarter than me figure that out. Alright, it's starting to get real hot in this room, so let's fucking speed this up. Anyway, the last Furnace Golem in the DLC is located in the Charro Hidden Grave, which is found by going behind the big dragon corpse you find up at Jagged Peak. Once you get to him, you're going to want to jump up on the spring, whatever the fuck this thing called, I don't remember. You jump up on that, and you go on the cliff, and this one you're going to also throw furnace pots at. Like I said before, you need 3 of them to kill him. His moves are the same as the other one, the swinging and the fireballs. So just dodge those, wait for him to get close enough, and then throw 3 of them, and he'll be dead. Your reward is the Glowwort Crystal tier, which boosts the damage of your spirit summons by 7.5% for about 3 minutes, which is kind of good, I guess. I got those numbers from the wiki again. I didn't, like, test this myself. I actually did test this one out. I don't know why I said I didn't, but it wasn't a big boost, so this one's kind of useless too, if I'm honest. But yeah, it's not a huge damage boost, and it's kind of situational, but it's kind of neat, I guess. Again, I'm sure there's some kind of fucking epic strategy that this is gonna save the day in, but I don't fucking know. But with all that yapping being done, we've now killed all 8 Furnace Golems in the DLC, and got the rewards from it, which is pretty cool. I won't lie, most of them kind of sucked, but then you had the blood-sucking tier and the deflecting hard tier, and then it all kind of seems worth it, you know? So maybe just kill those 2 and ignore the rest, unless you have some crazy strat for them. But anyway, hope this helped someone out. I was just curious to see what you get from killing all of them, so I thought this would be fun. Sorry about the long wait between uploads. I'm still kind of getting used to this whole video style. It's a little bit different from what I normally do, but it's been a lot of fun. But it's, again, it's a lot more work. So it's, yeah, anyway, I'm just fucking making excuses. But that's all I got. So be sure to tune in next week when I show you how to do a handstand with your feet. All right, bye-bye now. Dude, I am so sweaty. I'm cranking the AC. It's hot as shit in here. You hear that? It's very warm in here. My face is not normally this red, and my elbow is sweaty.